Welcome, wrestling fans, to the Lincoln High School Fieldhouse for Varsity Wrestling in the Valley Conference. Your Red Raiders, the number 2 ranked team in the state of Wisconsin, taking on the Merrill Blue Jays. Tonight is youth night as you see a bunch of young future Red Raider wrestlers heading off and around the side of the mat. We'd like to welcome all the youth and the middle school wrestlers, the managers, and the coaches. Our program's success is often recognized at the high school level, but it is built at the youth and middle school level. Without the time and effort of these coaches, our program would not have the success that it does. Please take time to thank those coaches when you see them and for all the time and effort they put into our program. Tonight's dual meet, the draw weight is 126 pounds. That's where we'll start the night out. As I had mentioned, the Red Raiders ranked number 2 in the state behind Kaukauna, Menominee's 3rd, Bayport 4th, Hartford 5th, Holman 6th, Arrowhead 7th, Beaver Dam 8th, Hortonville 9th, Luxembourg Casco 10th, Mukwonago 11th, Germantown 12th, Muskego 13th, Oregon 14th, Hudson 15th, and the Valley Conference team, DC Everest Evergreens, sliding into the number 16 ranked spot. Merrill has 1 ranked wrestler in the state. That's Dustin Schmerler at 113 pounds. The Red Raiders have 7. We'll get to those as we go through the lineups. Thank you for watching on WisconsinRapidsTV.org. Live stream TV. We appreciate your viewership, and we hope we bring you a lot of content that you will enjoy watching. Not just the Red Raider Wrestling, but all forms of Lincoln High School athletics and productions. The Red Raiders were busy over the time since we shown you last. They won the 2014 Ed Steck Invitational, placing ahead of number 11 Mukwonago and number 12 Germantown. They also won the holiday duels by a 5-0 dual meet record, and in the finals took out what is one of the absolute best teams in Minnesota, number 2 ranked Simley, 40-30 in that dual meet. And they also had some individual success at the Cheesehead. Really tough tournament in Kaukauna, with Tanner Goranson leading the way at 285, finishing 2nd in a nationally ranked tournament. It's really fun to see this young man develop into an athlete, into a wrestler. Matchups for tonight's dual meet will be coming shortly. 126-pound matchup. Merrill will have a forfeit at 126, and Landon Freeman, your Red Raider, picks up a quick 6. 132 pounds, Brett Suhaki, one of the veterans of the Blue Jays, will take on Gavin Jacobs, your Red Raider. The match at 136 pounds, Remington Skick, another veteran of the Blue Jays, takes on Carter Freeman, number 2 ranked in the state. 144-pounder Jack Ackerman, your Red Raider, will take on Callum Wheeler. 150-pound matchup, Brady Norton from the Blue Jays, your Red Raiders, Ashton Rouge. 157-pound bout will be William Mimitz against your Red Raider, the pinning machine, Mason Tritz. 165-pound matchup, Hunter Hopper. He will take on Jeremiah Peters, your Red Raider. At 175, Austin Gepius, one of their best wrestlers. He will take on Oakley Plus, your Red Raider. 190-pound matchup, Carson Brooks for the Blue Jays. He'll take on Wyatt Cook, your Red Raider. At 215 pounds, the matchup, Noah Klug, another very good wrestler for the Blue Jays. He'll take on Ashton Johnson. your Red Raider. 285-pound matchup, Joshua Gustum. He'll take on your Red Raider, Tanner Goranson. Now you go from the big to the little, 106-pounders. Blue Jays will forfeit at 106. Jackson Freeman, your Red Raider, picks up a free 6 points. 113-pounder Dustin Schmerler, the ranked wrestler. He is ranked 12th in the state. He'll take on Luke Hamill. Hamill is ranked 16th. 120 pounds, the final matchup of the night. Brett Suhaki from the Blue Jays. He'll take on Deegan Armagosh, your Red Raider. Once again, thank you for watching us on WisconsinRapidsTV.org. We hope you enjoyed tonight's dual meet. The Red Raiders will wrestle Tuesday, January 14th, right here at the Field House. That'll be a weather makeup against Wausau West. And then January 16th, Thursday, they will travel to Stevens Point for another Valley Conference dual meet. Last year's dual meet, the Red Raiders won that 57-12. Callum Wheeler for the Blue Jays got a win, as did Noah Klug and Dusty Schmerler. So we'll see how tonight's dual meet goes. There's your forfeit for Landon Freeman at 126 pounds. He puts the Red Raiders on the board with a 6-0 lead. First varsity wrestling match, 132-pound matchup, Brett Suhaki. Last year, Suhaki took on Carter Freeman. Freeman tech-falled him 20-5. Two completely different style of wrestlers between Freeman and Gavin Jacob, your Red Raider. So we'll see how Jacob fares against Suhaki. Marshfield stands atop the Valley Conference at 2-0 right now. The Red Raiders in second, 1-0. DC, Everest, Wausau West, Stevens Point, and Merrill all are 1-1, and Wausau East stands at 0-3. Valley Conference dual meets to this point. Wisconsin Rapids 62 over Wausau East 15. DC Everest 42 over Wausau West 35. And Stevens Point 49 over Merrill 30. That was December 5th. December 12th, Marshfield 45, DC Everest 21. Merrill 55, Wausau East 21. And Wausau West 37, Stevens Point 30. The Red Raiders had the off week. January 2nd, Marshfield 71, Wausau East 6th. And that's where we stand in completed dual meets. Fireman's carry takedown, couldn't quite complete it, comes back to a single, got hipped over a little bit. Still fighting through it, trying to lift there, out of bounds. This week's dual meet, Stevens Point is at Marshfield. Wausau West is at Wausau East. And you're watching the Merrill Blue Jays take on your Lincoln High School Red Raiders. Arm tie by Suhaki. Jacob fought that off, trying to work through collar tie with an arm drag. Missed that Lee on the way by. Jacob's wading into an overhook and looking to keep wrist control on the far side. He's got head position on the overhook. Trying to drag her wrist down, took a shot in, missed, re-shot into the same leg, got it elevated. Can he finish it? Got 3 seconds. 2, 1, left. Couldn't quite get him down to the mat. Good re-shot, though, by Gavin Jacobs. 2 minutes gone. Starting the second period, still tied at 0. If you're a first-time wrestling viewer this year, a couple of changes. Takedowns are now 3 points each. That encourages more offensive wrestling. That's a big change. So 3 points for a takedown. Out of bounds is defined as that outside circle. If you have one finger, a toe, even your hair on that line are in bounds, you are considered still in bounds, and they will let you wrestle. 1 point escape. Jacobs back on his feet. Near fall points. If the official counts 2, you get 2 near fall points. If he counts 3, you get 3. If he counts 4, you get 4. And a 5-point near fall would be for blood, or if the wrestler on the bottom screams out in pain for some reason and they stop the action, that's a 5-point near fall. Back trip by Jacobs. Trying to stretch the legs, and they're out of bounds. 1-0, Jacob with a lead. Again, Jacob not going to be the fly-around guy in his mat like a Carter Freeman. He likes that kind of get around in the mud with you kind of a deal. He likes that grub-around style. Suhaki in on a single, trying to fold the leg under. Trying to pin that heel down the mat, which he's done. Jacobs with a big spread eagle, now fighting the leg back a little bit. And Jacobs' foot was in bounds. Now they go out of bounds. A little extra shoulder shove there by Suhaki and Jacobs. No harm, no foul. Suhaki getting a little frustrated here. You can see it in his actions. End of the second period here, 1-0. Jacob with the lead. Suhaki's choice. He's going down. Last year in the dual meet, Gavin Jacobs got a pin in 131 over Jaden Gropp. Bar by Jacob now, looking for that far wrist. Trying to run that around the corner. Got to get that wrist folded in. Staying with that bar now. Bar and a half crossbody. Switches sides. Trying to pull him over. You can run that half over top of that bar, and it's really effective as well. Suhaki with a switch attempt going to the mat. Jacobs follows, counters, chops the wrist. Got a bar. Oh, Jacobs got out in front too far and lost the bar. Comes back to a leg. Now you got to watch the knee a little bit there on Jacobs. Now he's got to fold it under. Jacobs trying to pin the hip down of Suhaki on the mat, not let him out. 48 seconds left. Suhaki trying to roll through with the hips. Suhaki had a bail out as he was in a bad position there. Now Jacobs fires a half, got a wrist tied up. There's a half on the far side now by Jacob. 28 seconds left. No let up here, Gavin Jacobs. Too short of a margin. Straightened him out one time, fired at half again, running him up in a ball. Good position right here, Gavin Jacob. Legs ride. Suhaki tries to roll through. Jacobs hangs on 1-0 in a heck of a match. Three Red Raider team points, 9-0 the dual meet. Jacobs ground out a 1-0 lead and rode him for some couple of periods there. Nice work by the Red Raider. 138-pound matchup coming. Merrill's coach could have a little conversation with the officials, something that he thought he saw, but he nods his head in agreement as he heads back to the bench. Carter Freeman, your Red Raiders, scheduled to go here against Remington Skick. Remington Skick in the lineup last year, and Landon Freeman beat him 3-2. And Freeman got a little bit of late start. You see the elbow wrap and an elbow injury coming in, so they had to give that time to heal and get a little strength in it. Number 2 ranked wrestler in the state. Takedown 3 for for Freeman. They're going to cut him loose, go to work on his feet. 3-1. Here's the offensive style of Carter Freeman. Open all the time. Foot on the gas. Never let up. Front headlock. Round the corner we go. Spin cycle into a single leg shot. Comes up with a double. Turns the corner. Takes him down. Six won the lead now. Freeman got a bar on his left-hand side. He's trying to work it for some near-fall points. Now he regained the wrist. Fired a half on the far side down and lost the bar. Freeman regains wrist control underneath. Comes out to the side, exposes his hips. That's what an official will look for. And the 1 period, 6-1 on 2 takedowns for Carter Freeman. Skick's choice, he deferred. Freeman's choice, he goes down. There's 259,431 boys participating in wrestling this year at 10,962 schools. Caution, Skick. Girls programs have really blown up. There's 50,016 girls at the start of the season in 6,545 schools that have programs. Freeman to his feet, working on hands. He easily steps aside, goes to instant offense. 7-1, Freeman. Skick's got a wrist control underneath, and they go off the mat. Freeman just forces his tie-ups, whatever he wants. In on a shot, lifts him high on the shoulders, takes him down in control, what you have to do. 3 takedown, going to cut him loose. Give him a little harm on the way up. Snap down hard, around the corner we go. Spin cycle, takedown, 3 more, and he cuts him loose one more time. Skick's got a hard time recovering. 13-2 right now. And we got a little bit of a bloody lip on Carter Freeman. The girls program that I just mentioned will be traveling to Wausau West on January 18th for the Warrior Duels. Red Raiders have 9 females in their wrestling program. The junior varsity matches prior to the varsity match, Johnny Pyborn got a pin for the Red Raiders. Caden Shalinsky won on a pin. And so did Jack Kearse Jack Kiersey lost on a fall, and Kyle Wadlarski lost on a technical fall. Front headlock again, 13-3. Around the corner we go. Short drag, spin, body lock, lift, trip. It's one offensive attack to the next, and that's what really, really good wrestlers do. They go from one to the next, to the next, to the next. It's 16-3. Freeman going to go probably for that technical fall. Freeman going to ride him a little bit, come to his feet, works on a front trip, takes him back to the mat. Picking an ankle on the near side, steps in with an ankle bite on the other side. You elevate that ankle and put your leg underneath it. Kind of keep that foot elevated off the mat. And it locks that down a little. Skick pulling that arm underneath a lot, but if Freeman feels like he's not in a really good position, he'll just bail out and give him the one, take him down again. End of the period. Nice job of toughing that out by Carter Freeman. Did not give up any points at the end of the period. And that's what the Hall of Fame coach, Louis Bennett, has always preached. You don't give up points on the edge of the mat, and you don't give up points at the edge of a period. On their feet, 16-3, period number 3. Skick with a shot. Freeman got a defense. Tried a little duck, but that didn't work. Freeman around the corner takes him down. 19-3, technical fall. Five Red Raider team points. It's 14-0 right now. Red Raiders opening up a lead. 144-pounders. There should be Callum Wheeler. Now, last year, Callum Wheeler got a forfeit win. It's the only 6-point decision the Blue Jays had. It was a free one. They got 2 decisions by Noah Klug and Dusty Schmerler later on in the lineup. Jack Ackerman at 144. Callum Wheeler's opponent. Wheeler's a senior, Ackerman a sophomore. Fireman's carry takedown 3 for Wheeler. Ackerman working on his feet now. Got to get an arm free. There he did. I think he get his hips down in a way. Little dump, but Wheeler's got himself in trouble, but fought through it. Ackerman again catches Wheeler. Wheeler steps over. What a scramble. Wheeler comes back out on top. Dangerous wrestling by Callum Wheeler. Ackerman back to his feet again, 50 seconds. And Wheeler cuts him loose. 3-1. Ackerman wades in, not protecting the legs, and Wheeler just waited for him to do that. As Ackerman just hipped him across to his back, but they were well out of bounds. Ackerman can't get baited into getting by himself. Push it in, push it in, push it in, and Wheeler drops down, attacks the leg. There it is again. Scramble. Ackerman got to get out here. Now he's on his stomach. Got a leg. No point scored yet. Pick your head up, Ackerman. There we go. Now let's see what we can do here. Maybe get a stalemate. End of the period. 3-1. Callum Wheeler of Merrill after one period. Ackerman's choice deferred. Wheeler's choice takes down. Base off by Wheeler. Ackerman allowed to get some of his offense from the top going. Now Wheeler trying to put a foot down into a sitting position. Ackerman trapped that trailing arm, turned him back stomach down on his base. Ackerman trying to get to a cradle. I don't think he locked it up. Couldn't get the arms together. Ackerman trying to keep some type of wrist or arm control. Wheeler's working hard from the bottom. Chop that trailing wrist one more time, regains control. Now got a roll attempt coming here by Wheeler. And now they're out of bounds. Going to reset them. 57.5 seconds left. Callum Wheeler, Merrill on the bottom. Your Red Raider, Ackerman, Jack on top. Ackerman had 2 chances to catch Wheeler on his back in the first period, and a couple of their scrambles that couldn't quite catch him and hold him. Tried to get to a cradle at Ackerman, but Callum Wheeler picked the hands apart. Now he's got a spiral ride. 20 seconds left. Second period. Ackerman working hard on top, just not able to gain anything but a base position. Little stack attempt here, didn't quite work. End of 2 periods, 2 minutes left. Ackerman's choice, he's going down. He trails 3-1. A reversal will tie it, an escape by Ackerman. He'll be down by 1. Switch attempt, but Wheeler stopped that. Got a bar now, does Wheeler. And wrist control. Ackerman puts a foot down, stands up. Arm is caught by Wheeler. Ackerman gets the reversal, getting in near fall. That's the mistake Wheeler made early. Ackerman just got to sit here tight. Stay in good position. 123, and there is the fall for Jack Ackerman. .437 on the pin time. 6 Red Raider team points, 20-0 the dual meet right now. Next up, the 150-pound weight class. Ashton Roosh scheduled to go out for the Red Raiders. He'll take on Brady Norton from the Blue Jays. Aiden Armagoss last year pinned Brady Norton in 245. But again, this year's a different matchup. 2 different style wrestlers. Ashton Roosh in the lineup for the first time for the Red Raiders. Was not in it last year for this dual meet. Oh, just got outpowered as Ashton Roosh had a chance to face plant Brady Norton. And Norton with a hip tip now takes down Roosh and scoring near fall. He's got 3, so he's up 6-0. Roosh to his feet. Brady Norton left and took Roosh to his back from his feet. Roosh trying to fight through it, got back to his stomach. Good bit of fight for the Red Raider there. He was in deep trouble. Rouge set, ready to go. Norton covers. Norton again with that hip tip. Roll over the top, got the wrist tied up. And there's two more for the near fall. It's now 11-0 Norton. And again with the hip tip. Rolls through one more time. That was close to a pin. Rouge fights stomach down one more time. That's 4. That's a tech fall, 15-0. Blue Jays on the board with their first 5 team points for the technical fall by Brady Norton. Next up, we have the 157-pound matchup, and we're going to see a change coming here. William Mimitz scheduled to go over to Blue Jays. Jeremiah Peters in the lineup at 157. Moving Mason Tritz up to 165. Headlock attempt by Mimitz. No good. He's got a basketball player's body makeup, long and thin. Jeremiah Peters in a double underhook, snaps him down with the hips. Nice spin behind. Good work. And then he cuts him loose. 3-1. Snapped him hard again. Around the corner he goes again. Can he get there? Mimitz has got his arm yet over his shoulder. There he loses that. Now Peters locking up around the body. Got to do something with him here. They go out of bounds. Mimitz has got the advantage of length with his arms and legs and body, but that's hurt him twice when he's reached in with his head down. Jeremiah Peters has snapped him to the mat. One more takedown. And we got a stoppage for a illegal hold. 1 point Mimitz. Full Nelson by Jeremiah Peters at 6-2. Lift takes him back to the mat. And got a bar on this near side. Take your time, stay with this bar. Got a bar and I do believe some wrist control. Underhook at least. Now it's an overhook on the far side, maybe trying to get to a double bar. Got 8 seconds. Keep stepping, keep stepping. Gonna run out of time. Had a double bar. Just ran out of time to turn him. 6-2 after one period. Jeremiah Peters with a lead. Peters' choice, he's gonna defer. A little discussion there from the coaching staff. Finally, one of their coaches says, down. Mimitz with a hard stand up, and they go out of bounds. Peters got to have a little bit of harder start. They're going to put him up on their feet. Give him the 1 point. 6-3 now. Free escape point. Both guys shot at the same time. Peters had the position. Peters launches him with a head toss, puts him on his back, They got a long time to fight this off. He's in good position here. Pin. Jeremiah Peters with a pin. Puts 6 Red Raider team points on the board, 26-5. The dual meet right now, you're going to see Mason Tritz at 165 going up. Take on Hunter Hopper. Last year, Cooper Meyer of the Red Raiders, 165-pounder, beat Hunter Hopper 2-0. In a close grind-out match. Remember, Cooper Meyer in the team sectional, putting together the match of his entire life, putting the Red Raiders over the top for a victory. Great memory for a lot of people, including your announcer. Tritz shot in, got his head stuffed underneath. Now he's trying to come back up. Hunter Hopper's got a front headlock and a far side elbow control. Trying to figure out how to go around the corner. Duck under. Roll through by Tritz. Man, he just toughed that out. Holy cow. 3 takedown. Instantly goes for a half and a wrist. Straightens him out one time and loses the half and the wrist both. Cradle time coming. There it is. Locked him up. This is the signature Tritz move. Now he's got to get in a little bit better position to turn him, which he backs off that cradle. Hopper stands up, gets the 1-point escape. 3-1 Tritz. Merrill fans chiming in. They don't like the outcome of the dual meet so far. Tritz with a shot in, got stopped again. Hopper sprawled back. This is where Tritz scored the first time. Scott elbow control. And Hopper backed out, content to go back to his feet. Again, Hopper taller, longer. Three seconds, 2, 1, and the period comes to an end with Mason Tritz, your Red Raider, in the lead, 3-1. Hopper's choice, he defers, but Tritz's choice, he's going to go down. Tritz's style down here is to get into this roll around, kind of roll around in the mud kind of a game, as we like to say. He'll get into some positions and out of positions, and then all of a sudden, he's on top. So it may not look really good sometimes, but Tritz is comfortable in this. There, Hopper's got a wrist on the near side, trying to fire a half. Now he's trying to get legs in as he does on this near side, but Tritz snatches ahead, stacks him up on his shoulders. Hopper's in deep trouble. Pin! Tritz felt that coming all the way. Tritz felt that head hanging all over his shoulder. Knew exactly what he was looking to do. Hopper had the leg stuck in on the left-hand side, couldn't pull it out to save himself. Tritz knew exactly where he was, stacked him up, said good night. 32-5 through 165 pounds. This is Austin Deus against Oakley Palouse. Mark Jeske last year beat Austin Deus 11-1 in the dual meet. Whizzer by Palouse. Hipped him right over and almost caught him on his back. Palouse is doing a little Potentially dangerous, says the official. Plouffe pounded his head into the mat a couple times. He's being pretty physical on top. Slide by missed by Deus. Shot in again. Plouffe's in some trouble here. Got taken down with a barrel roll takedown. 3-0 Deus. Oakley Plouffe, first-year Red Raider varsity wrestler. Plouffe is a freshman. Deus is a senior for the Blue Jays. Plouffe's able to get to his feet. Deus tried to hang on to an ankle and give him a leg sweep, take it back down. Plouffe just said nope. Plouffe shoots in again, but his arms are wide apart, so he's easily stopped coming in. Off the mat they work. Warning, stalling. Plouffe. Overhooked by Plouffe, looking for wrist control. Deus with a shot in, trying to go around the corner. Got there, hard whizzer by Plouffe. Hips it to him again, comes up the face, runs him over. Catches him for a takedown and near fall coming. Oh, he couldn't quite hold him on his back. 4 near fall. Plouffe at the end of the period. 8-3 now the Red Raider leads. You got a little danger factor in Plouffe there. Plouffe deferred his choice. Deus chooses the bottom referee's starting position. Plouffe's trying to chop a wrist, wraps up the body, trying to catch a half. Got one, got a wrist. Got a half, trying to, now he hips into him. Good position here, if he can keep it. There's near fall coming. Oakley Plouffe going after Austin Deus here. Looking to get a pin again. Out of bounds is any part of any wrestler. In bounds, you're still wrestling. Pin, Oakley Plouffe. Second period, 44 seconds. Six Red Raider team points, 38-5 the dual meet. Next up, the 190-pound weight class. Carson Brooks for the Blue Jays. Your Red Raider. Wyatt Cook. Cook is a senior. Brooks is a senior. Brooks, a lot bigger body size than Cook. Cook first year in the varsity lineup as well. See if Cook can keep the Red Raider win streak going. Got to a body, trying to get to a body lock. Toss attempt by Brooks. Double underhooks, headlock coming. Fight through it. 3 takedown for Brooks. He's got Cook in a lot of trouble. Cook's got a long time to fight this off. 1:22 left, and there is the pin for Carson Brooks of Merrill. 16 points for the Blue Jays, 38-11 right now. Now you're going to see They're going to forfeit at 2:15 to Noah Klug.
At 215 pounds, Noah Klug will receive a forfeit.
And next up, you're going to see the 285-pounders. Tanner Goranson, the number 2 ranked heavyweight in the state of Wisconsin. Scheduled to go, Dustin Schmerler, the Blue Jays heavyweight. Goranson took out the Kaukauna heavyweight in Cheesehead. And the semifinals, a wrestler that he had lost to, who was the number 1 ranked wrestler at the time, by 1 point the last 2 times they wrestled. Goranson has got better every year he's been on the mat. Unfortunately for the Red Raiders, he's a senior this year. We'd like to have him back in that upper weight class for a handful more years. When Goranson started out, he was kind of a big kid, flopped around a lot, and took some beatings. Now he's learned how to wrestle. He's become a better athlete, stronger. And still at about 260 to 265, about 20 pounds under the 285-pound weight limit. 2-on-1 collar tie, a little head fang into a single leg shot. Trying to get to a double trip, takes him down, 3 near fall. Goranson. Takedown game for the big heavyweight man here. 1 point escape. You don't see that often. Once a heavyweight gets somebody on the mat, they try to keep him there. Goranson says, I'm going to go on the feet. Arm drag. Got to a bylock around the corner, and the spin cycle takes him down. Cut him loose one more time. He must have been practicing with Carter Freeman. Take down and let him loose. 6-2 the lead. 48 seconds first period. Snap down. Schmerler tried to reach in. Goranson says, well, sprawl back, and I'll just spin behind you once my leg got cleared. Going to cut him loose. Going to go again. Give him a little harm on the way up. Schmerler's looking at the clock. Goranson just shoots in. That was a gimme. You got time for one more like that, Tanner, if you want it. 20 seconds left. 12-3. Hard crossface, trying to barbed wire Schmerler up. Goes back to a cover. Goranson may want to try to get a little wrestling in here for conditioning's sake and just to get a really good practice here. He's just a lift. Got a count of 1 on the exposed shoulders, but not enough for a near fall. 12-3, Goranson with a lead. Schmerler's choice, and the coach from Merrill comes over and says, my guy's got a head cut, so they will tend to that. Once again, JV wrestling tonight. Johnny Pyborn won on a pin. Caden Shalinsky won on a pin. Jack Kiersey and Kyle Wadlarski lost on Tech Falls. That was the JV matches that we had seen tonight. No girl wrestlers on the mat tonight for either squad. But the girls will be traveling to Wausau West on January 18th for the Warrior Duels. And again, this year, at the start of the year, in 6,545 schools that have programs for girls, 50,016 wrestlers started the season in the female wrestling divisions. And that has really blown up over the past couple of years. Goranson goes down to start second period. Inside leg stand up by Goranson, comes to his feet. Schmerler grabs a single leg. Goranson kind of rides his shoulders, pushes him out, lets him ride him out of bounds, and we go back to the center. 13 seconds gone in the second period. Goranson set. Schmerler's going to cover. Ankle pick. Goranson just plants it down on the mat and stands up. Schmerler drops off to a single again. Goranson puts the weight on him across the back of his shoulders. Schmerler can't hold him around the corner. Goranson goes. He's got a two-point reversal, 14-3, and there's the pin. Goranson rolled him over, and Schmerler says, I'm done. Six Red Raider team points for the big man, Tanner Goranson, 44-17. Jackson Freeman at 106 will pick up a forfeit win. And he's coming to the head scorers table now. Got to come out ready to wrestle. Headgear strapped on, in your uniform, no warm-ups. And the referee walks you out to the center. Raise your hand. 50-17 right now. 2 weight classes left. This is probably going to be the premier match of the night. Luke Hamill, the number 16 ranked wrestler, and Dustin Schmerler, who is ranked 12th. Schmerler last year beat Matthew Searing 6-2. First year on the varsity for Luke Hamill. Schmerler is a junior. Hamill's a sophomore. Hamill with a double leg shot. Right through him he goes. Can he complete the takedown? No, not yet. Hamill takes him up again, lets him go in front of him. Now covers him up with a takedown. 3 points in the lead for the young Red Raider. For those that recognize the Hamill wrestling name, this is Jerry Hamill's son, one of them. If you think back a little bit, you remember that name. Armbar on the right-hand side by Hamill. He's looking to drive over the wrist on the far side. Hamill trying to run it over. Straightened him out one more time. Back to a ride here with a bar tucked in. Schmerler trying to plant a leg down, but Hamill lost the bar. Now he's trying to regain it. Wrist control underneath. 45 seconds left. Hamill with a bar and a wrist control underneath. Good position here for the young Red Raider. Hamill trying to run that bar again. Got the wrist. Stacks him on his head, but Schmerler able to go back to his base temporarily. 10 seconds left. And we got a stoppage for blood on Schmerler. Good first period for the young Red Raider Hamill. Going to try to teach him a little bit how to finish off that bar and a wrist. Next up for the Red Raiders will be next week, Tuesday, will be a remake, or a redo, I should say, for a weather cancel event from against Wausau West right here at the field house. And then on that Thursday, the Red Raiders will head to Stevens Point to take on the Panthers in another varsity dual meet. So the Red Raiders will have 2 Valley Conference meets in 1 week in a row. So I'd mentioned the rankings here before. The Red Raiders at 106, Jackson Freeman ranked 16th. Your Red Raider you're watching here, Luke Hamill ranked 16th. Landon Freeman at 120 is 5th. Carter Freeman 2nd at 132. Mason Tritz 6th at 157. Kyler Tritz 6th at 190. And Tanner Goranson was ranked 2nd at 285. Red Raiders ranked 2nd in the team rankings behind Kokona. ahead of Menominee, Bayport, Hartford, Holman, Arrowhead, Beaver Dam, Hortonville, and Luxembourg, Casco. DC Evers shows up in the 16th spot in the team rankings. End of the first period here. Hamill with a good 3-0 lead over Dustin Schmerler from the Blue Jays. Schmerler's choice, he's going to defer Hamill's choice. Now he will take both on their feet. Now you're looking, where is Hamill's chances better? That's what the coaching staff is going through. Showed he had a good takedown. They see him in practice every day. Russian arm tie by the Red Raider. Walking Schmerler all over the place. Crossbody knee trip. And they're out of bounds. Hamill with a toss after they were out of bounds. A takedown would only tie the match or give Hamill a chance to win it. Schmerler in, locking his hands across the thigh. Hamill trying to sprawl that hip down, now hips him over on his stomach. Schmerler trying to drive back in one more time on that leg. Hamill's got to sprawl it back down again. And Schmerler ended up going around the corner and getting the takedown after they were just about out of bounds. Tied at 3. Hamill's got a chance to score here now. And they're out of bounds. .8 seconds left. Second period, 3-3. Hamill down. Schmerler covers. Hamill hard to his feet. Trying to hit a switch. Kind of got stopped. Trying to lift a leg. Step over the top. Schmerler's in some trouble. Schmerler's got to bail out and give up the reversal. Hamill leads 5-3. Hamill throws a half in as Schmerler tried to hip him over. He's in danger of getting too far out in front. Schmerler's trying to pull that arm down on the far side. Hamill reaching across body, trying to lock that leg up. End of the period is 3, 2, 1. They roll through it. No. Wow, close. 5-3, Hamill with the lead after two periods. Schmerler's choice now. He's going down. Hamill trapping a wrist underneath now. Clock has not started. On the scoreboard, clock has not started, but they're keeping time on the bench. Hamill got his head hung over the top, got reversed to tie it. Hard part is you don't know how much time you have left here when it's kept by a stopwatch on the bench. Hamill to his feet. They go out of bounds. Now they reset the clock to 1:03. And Merrill's not happy about the fact that the clock did not start or didn't work, whichever. In any event, we are still tied at 5. Third period. Hamill on the bottom. Got the chance to score. 1:03 left on the clock. Hamill clears the foot, puts it on the mat. Schmerler trying to run him out of bounds. And they are out of bounds. Once Hamill gets to his feet, he can't hesitate there. Got to put a couple moves together. 55 seconds. Schmerler picking his near side ankle. Now Hamill steps inside, comes up, hips flying out, got to stay in bounds. Schmerler runs him out of bounds. That's the second time Schmerler's run him to the out of bounds. 41 seconds left. Hamill with a stand-up. Schmerler trying to get that tip. Hamill rolled through it. Got to bail back up here. Build back again. 30 seconds. Chicken wing. Potentially dangerous on Schmerler. He had that bar in, but his hand was over the shoulder. That's good for Hamill. It's a fresh start. 24 seconds left. Hamill standing up again. Trying to turn inside. He comes up to face. He's got the escape. He leads 6-5. 8 seconds. Schmerler with a shot in. Hamill locks up on a leg. Hamill trying to hip him over here. Schmerler just before the buzzer gets the takedown over Luke Hamill. 8-6. 3 team points for the Blue Jays. 50-20 the score. And we got Brock Suhaki supposed to come out for the Blue Jays and Deegan Armagosh, your Red Raider. Final matchup of the night, 120 pounders. Deegan Armagosh, your Red Raider, and Brock Suhaki from the Merrill Blue Jays. Brock Suhaki not in the lineup as he's only a freshman here. And Deegan Armagosh is a sophomore. Armagosh trying to get to a barrel roll, almost got caught, comes back to his feet. Front headlock by Suhaki. And they're out of bounds. Red Raiders have the dual meet locked up at 50-20 right now. Tough loss by Luke Hamill. In the last half a second. Collar ties both wrestlers. Working up around the head and the neck. Trying to set up some off, a little shuck on by. There's 3 finally. Official didn't see the hands down the first time. And the Red Raider bench letting them know about it. Armagosh with a 3-0 lead with 40 seconds left. They're on the edge of the circle. Bar now by Armagosh. Now fires a half. Runs him right over on the circle. Got to keep a foot in here, Deegan. Couldn't quite keep him turned. Somehow he got that arm out. Counting down for 5 seconds, first period. 3-0 the lead for the Red Raider, Deegan Armagosh. Once again, it was kids' night here tonight. Armagas deferred his choice, and Suhaki takes down. So we had all kinds of the grade school, middle school kids and their coaches. We thank those guys for spending their time teaching these young guys how to be Lincoln High School Red Raider wrestlers. You can probably hear all the young guys screaming in the background. Nice crowd here on the Red Raiders side. Fair following for the Merrill Blue Jays side. And I'm old enough to know and remember when they wrestled at the old East Junior High, which was Lincoln at one point. And Maryland Rapids dual meets were so loud inside, you couldn't stuff any more people inside the exterior walls. They were just packed top, bottom, around the upper gym. Extra bleachers brought in, people standing. The noise would actually hurt your ears. It was that loud. But man, was that fun. Armagas on a nice hard start. Stopped the first move with Suhaki. Got a bar on that left-hand side. Fighting to stay with it. Picks the bar out now. Conventional ride, coffee grinder on that right-hand side. A Turk tip attempt with the legs ride by Deegan Armagast. 20 seconds left. Still 3-0 the Red Raider. Ten seconds. Warning, stalling. Armagast, 1 point. Suhaki. Counting down inside of 5 seconds. Bar on the wrist, but just ran out of time, and now it's going to be Armagast's choice. He's going down. Start the final 2 minutes of tonight's wrestling action. Caution on Suhaki. Roll attempt coming by Acrian, but Suhaki blocked the first attempt. Armagast in trouble here as Suhaki's locked up an Okie choke. Armagast trying to fight this off. Suhaki steps over the top, and Armagast somehow rolled through it. That's what happens when you hang around a little bit down there. You can't hang around. Let a guy back in a match. 1:05 left yet. Suhaki still got a wrist. Armagast with his head down on the mat, now starting to pick it up. But Suhaki in control right now. Now Suhaki too far out over the shoulders. Roll through by Armagast. He gets the reversal, but he's not out of the woods yet. In bad position here with a legs ride. Now he's in a sitting position now. Suhaki arched back, and Armagast felt that and almost dropped him backwards on his shoulders. It's 5-1 the Red Raider. A little scary here at the end of the match. And that's the way the match is going to end. 5-1 at Deegan Armagast. The victor at 120 pounds. Dual meet went like this. We started off at 126. Landon Freeman got a forfeit win. Put 6 points on the board. Gavin Jacobs, a hard-fought win, 1-0 over Brett Suhaki. Red Raiders lead 9-0. Carter Freeman at 138 wins by tech fall. 5 points in the Red Raiders column, 14-0. Jack Ackerman, a pin at 437, puts 6 in the Red Raider column. They lead 20-0. Ashton Rouge goes down on a tech fall to Brady Norton. And the Blue Jays put 5 in their column for the first time in the evening. The Red Raiders come back strong, though. Jeremiah Peters with a pin over William Mimitz. Mason Tritz with a pin over Hunter Hopper. And Oakley Plus with a pin over Austin Deppy. After all that, it's 38-5. Merrill goes back on the board with a pin by Carson Brooks over Wyatt Cook. Ashton Noah Klug got a forfeit win at 215 pounds. Then the Red Raiders big man heavyweight comes back with a pin at 285 over Joshua Gustin. Merrill forfeited at 106. It's now 50-17. Luke Hamill in a last half-second